What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bianconerizonechannel for another daily news video with me replacing Justin on this Monday after the World Cup. So it's all behind us now. We can go back to club football, finally, I'm gonna say. Or maybe you don't like it, or you don't like the way we are playing, so you don't just basically aren't happy for what's coming our way. But we are back, and I think it's gonna go very quickly now. In 2 weeks, almost, in about 2 weeks, a little more, we will play Cremonese away, first game of the season, and we have two more friendlies to prepare. Next week, oh no, this week, excuse me, this Thursday against Reykjavik at the stadium behind closed doors. So not sure if that will get broadcasted. Maybe via Sky, not sure. And the 30th of December, also at the stadium, but with fans against Standard Liège. Again, not sure if that game will get broadcasted. Probably yes. Not sure if it's going to be on JTV because they play at home. Probably will be on Sky. But 2 games to prepare with more starters, or like more first teamers back, especially that game, the last one, the 30th. So that's going to be interesting. Maybe we'll get an indication of who is going to play the 4th of January against Cremonese. But we're going to talk about today's news. We have some Del Piero news, some De Sciglio news, and some new players news. But before we get into it, please like the video. As always, do it now. It's 1 second. And subscribe to the channel. Now, the morning starts with De Sciglio news, which was kind of surprising on 3 different levels. I will bring up the news first. People might have, heard about it. It's from Giovanni Albanese saying an idea of an exchange loan between De Sciglio and Karsdorp could arise. Now, like I said, when I read that, I was surprised on 3 different levels. The first one is, I forgot about De Sciglio. That he's still around. That's one. 2, Karsdorp is bad. So not sure why we keep getting mentioned with him again, over and over again. And the third one is, if this actually is a thing, we renewed De Sciglio's contract a few months ago. How badly would that look again? You renew a player you never should be renewing, not even for if he wants to earn €1 a month. He's not good. He's super injury prone. I cannot believe we gave him a deal on any money, just period. And now you're, if it's true, trying to not even ship him out completely, loan him out. So you're basically admitting at that point you're stuck with a player you don't want, which is shocking on so different levels in terms of being incompetent. Not shocking that this would happen at the club. No surprise at all. But yeah, that's what I thought when I saw the news. Now, do I believe the news? No, I don't believe it. And I don't want to believe it because I don't want Karsdorp anywhere near the club, not even for 4 months. It's just a pointless deal. Like, it's not going to improve us. He's probably not going to play a lot unless everyone picks up injuries, even if he joins. It's just a complete pointless deal to do. Why would Roma be interested in doing a swap? Yes, they want Karsdorp out, but with De Sciglio, who's not even fit at this point, so it makes no sense whatsoever. And for me, I'm hoping we moved on from these type of deals, that we don't do deals where you're like, okay, what's this? What's the point? Like, how is this going to improve? How does this make any sense? And this one makes absolutely 0 sense. Now, Nico Schira said we're not in for him, so I'll take his word over Giovanni Albanese any day of the week. But you never know. Like, you never know. His name keeps popping up in all media, so you need to take a look at it, or like you need to, pay attention to it. But personally, I just don't want to. Like, it's just bad. Just being linked with those players is sad. It's that simple. But that's the bad news. That's really bad news for me. Now, let's move on to some better news. Ealing Jr., as everybody also has saw today, renewed until 25. That's good. But I'm surprised. Only 25. That's 2 years and a half. So I was expecting 27. I think like anyone was expecting 27. Like 25 sounds very weird in my opinion for such a young player. Like, he's not on a lot of money, so you immediately are thinking, okay, what's behind this? Is this the agent of the player, not certain about the club's future, or wanted to, have all possibilities open in 2 years' times if he develops as expected, or like as anyone is hoping and expecting? Not sure, but that deal is over the line, and he will be he will be part of the first team. That's what the club also put out there officially. So he's a first teamer, and I think he's gonna play quite a lot. Interchanging with Kostic, depending on the formation, Chiesa. Let's see how that will go. But other news is Tommaso Barbieri is close to breaking into the first team and become Quadrado's deputy. First, Juve want to renew his contract. Romeo said that's basically done. That will be announced soon. He played very well against Arsenal. Now, I've seen quite a lot of him. He's a bit hit and miss. Like, he has very good games. I won't say he has very bad games, but like he has games where he doesn't really look up to it. So it's a weird one. But against Arsenal, I thought he was excellent. Again, it's a friendly. It's one game. But you never know. Like, if he can break into the first team and, prove to be a worthy squad player or a first teamer, starter, happy days. But obviously, not all of those players, players being in the first team, are going to make it. Maybe in 2 years' time, Miretti's not even in the club. Maybe he didn't develop as expected or as he should with his potential and talent, and the club moved him on. Like, you never know. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. Maybe Ealing Jr. just completely flops, and he's out of the squad anymore. Maybe Sule never makes it, and he's out. Like, you never know. Probably not all of those players are going to make it, but it's good that we are investing in them, or like keeping them, and not just basically throw them away, for money or on 10 loan deals like Hans Nicolucci, and some of these players who get loaned out for years without, any value for us, basically, But it's a good sign. I think it's a positive sign that so many so many players are getting a chance. But again, let's see how that will develop. I think it ends with Ealing Jr. this season in terms of players coming to the first team, basically. But you never know. Let's see. Before we get into the Del Piero news, really some Rabiot news. Again, following a good World Cup campaign, Rabiot's contract renewal has now become more complicated. His mother agent could now ask for even higher salary following his performances. Premier League clubs are watching him. We know that he's gone. Let's move on. I just want to put out there. And now the final news is from Del Piero, is about Del Piero. It's from Gazzetta dello Sport, saying Del Piero and Giuntoli are the leading candidates, for the job of vice president and sporting director at the club. Now, there are more and more rumors about Giuntoli that, Napoli-based rumors that De Laurentiis knows that other clubs are looking at him, not just us, and that he, how do you want to say that? That he understands that it would be very difficult to convince him to stay. Now, I don't think it's going to be Giuntoli. I also don't think it's going to be Marotta. I'm banking my money on someone we didn't heard about at this moment in time. That's the way I think things are going with the appointment so far. I don't think it's the best move. I think we need some experience in that team ASAP, or like in that management ASAP. Del Piero, if he comes in and you have experienced players with him, I get it. That's fine. I think you need some guy who knows the club, or like has, how do you want to say that? Has established himself within the world of football. Everybody knows, recognized, like we had Netfed. And then, of course, we know what happened. But I think it's very important to have that. So I'm okay, but we need to bring an experienced guy, to lead the entire thing, basically, sporting-wise, off the field, but to improve on the field, literally. And I think we need someone like a Giuntoli, a Marotta maybe back, I don't know, Carnavale, like name those guys. It needs to be one of those guys who knows the club, because we're not going to go and get one guy in who is not Italian or has no ties with the club. So that's not going to happen. So it's going to be one of those guys, but I do believe it will be a name we haven't heard about at this moment in time. Or maybe you heard about, but you're like, him? Like out of nowhere. Like ex-management from years ago comes back being sporting director, something like that. But the Del Piero thing is kind of heating up. I'm not sure it's gonna happen. I'm not sure it's gonna happen now. Maybe in a year or a half year from now. I think they're gonna appoint some guys to steady the ship for a couple of months, maybe a year, and then they, make the choice to appoint people who are like, okay, they're gonna lead the next Juve from the I don't know how many years. I think that's what's gonna happen, purely based on the first rumors that he's putting all those bankers slash lawyers into place to clean up the mess, basically. So based on that news, I'm going with that prediction, basically, that probably is gonna happen to Piero, but I will be shocked if it's in January when they are gonna appoint a new director board. But let's see. The rumors are constant. They are from good sources, I'm gonna say, or like, yeah, they're from decent sources. And then the Piero statement was kind of obvious, like he didn't shut down the door. He was like, let's hold up, pump the brakes, let's see. I mean, he wants it, and I think he will get it. He will take it if he gets it. So let's see how that will develop. But that was today's news. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like the video again, or if you haven't, just for the first time now. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification as always, because the season is back and we will, do more videos, lives almost on a daily basis, match reactions, previews, post games, all those things. So stay tuned for that, and we will see you back tomorrow. Ciao.